Hey, yo, hey, it's Unrivaled here. I'm just going to take you guys through a quick game here. So basically what we have is a PZ versus ZZ. Now the two most common strategies you're going to face when you're going against double zerg teams is they're either going to do an early pull, and in most cases, especially at lower leagues, or one of them's going to do a 15 hatch and then the other might do an early pull, or he might do something like, 14 extractor or 14 pull. Both of those are really common. So my whole goal then is going to try and be to block this ramp as much as possible. I want this to be as narrow of a choke as possible while still allowing us to get across the map, because unfortunately I'm not Terran, so I can't just lower my depot and let my partner's lings out. So I am still going to leave a hole there. I'd say if you read my guide, you would know that it's probably best to do an 11 gate here and not chrono boost workers, but I feel pretty confident in my partner's abilities, and as you'll see very shortly, it's not actually going to matter, because in this case I get over here and I see there's no early pull yet. He's got all these lings, he's got a second overlord out, therefore I know for a fact that at most one of them is doing an early pull build. So I don't have fear of getting that first zealot out, to plug that hole right away. So we go on here. I'm just going to go ahead and check the other guy real quick, see what he's up to. And in this case, you can see he's doing a 10 pull, 10 extractor. Pretty common. So what I wanted to figure out is, okay, is he doing some kind of Baneling build where he's doing 14-14, or is he just going to try and 15 hatch? 15 hatch is probably the best build in my opinion. So what we're going to do is, I see, okay, he still doesn't have a pull. Well, that's not a big deal. So I just go on with a normal gate cyber build. Now, if, for instance, they both did an early 10 pull, or, perhaps an earlier pull than that, what I would actually want to do is have the second pylon right here to block off. If it was double 10 pull, I'd say if they did something way cheesier and they did a pull that's even earlier than that, I would want to do a gate forge build and get a cannon up as soon as possible, because the cannon is really the only way you're going to stop, double 6 pull. I mean, if your partner's really good, he might be able to help you out, but chances are, without a cannon, they're going to be able to take out your pylon or your gateway, and then it's going to be a 2-on-1, which is going to be really problematic. So if we continue here, okay, I go out here. Oh, what do you know? An expansion. Alright, so my whole goal is to essentially keep this probe alive as best I can, because ideally, I want to have a pylon somewhere on their side of the map when my 4-gate ends up finishing. And that's the ability you should go for here. Because if you start getting more tech units, your push is going to be delayed, and this expansion here is going to essentially pay off for them. The later your push comes, the easier chance they have of holding off your push. So you want to hit as soon as possible. So 4-gate really is the best build here. And also the fact that, if you're facing double zerg, you don't have to worry about cloak, so you really don't need, an observer early from a robo. You also, blink is nice to have, but you don't need it. I mean, if your partner's getting ling and baneling, it basically takes away half the reason to get blink. Because your fear is, massling surrounds, but if your partner has banelings, he can just protect your stalkers with his own banelings. So you go in here, you can see, I did 11 gates, and my zealot didn't get out in time. If this was a larger map, like, Lunar Colony 5, you probably would have been able to plug that hole even with a slightly later gateway. So all I wanted to do with that first zealot, instead of just straight up engaging him, I want to just kind of run around a little bit just to buy time. Because a 14 pull against a 10 pull, his lings will get out maybe 5 seconds after their lings get to your base. So I just want to buy a little time. That's right now. I'd say I'm just going to keep chrono boosting my warp gate. And you're going to notice that I'm not going to have enough chrono boost to get out the quickest possible 4-gate. And I'd say against a 10 pull, it really is a good idea to chrono boost that first zealot, even if there is only one 10 pull. Because what happens is if all of a sudden he gets in there and he surrounds that first zealot, well, if he's really good, he might not lose any lings at all. And it's also a great idea for your partner, if you're facing 2 zergs, spread out your overlords. There's no reason not to. I mean, they're not going to have... They might have a queen out early, but if the queen comes out in the open, you could just simply kill it. So you'll notice right now, my partner's got his 14 pull done with his banelings out now. So our whole goal is to try and take the middle of the map, or get some kind of staging point to do aggression against our opponents. So we're end up going to take the Zelnaga Tower, because we want to deny them vision so they don't know exactly when we're coming. And right now you can see I got a proxy pylon over here, so I'm basically just going to be warping mass zealots. And if they had banelings, they don't in this case, I'd say I would want to spend pretty much all my time trying to kill banelings or else target roaches. But banelings are the single most important thing, because my partner's lings and my stalkers are going to just tear apart everything in the flat. As you probably noticed in the battle, my partner was just running his banelings around everywhere the lings were to make sure that they cannot engage my stalkers. And I'd say this matchup is going to be pretty easy, assuming you don't lose one of these proxy pylons. I'm going to show you guys a second game where we do lose the proxy pylon. You can see that, you know, the double zerg team actually is able to win as a result. Alright, well thanks for watching. I'm going to show you guys another game in just a second. Alright guys, I got the second game loaded up here. So what we're going to do is once again look at, you know, a double zerg team versus a zerg protoss team, in which case one of these zergs is going to expand. So in this case, if you're looking here, look at that, Red Bandit. Some of you guys are probably familiar with him. Well, you should be, because he's one of the normal streamers on Team Liquid, Protech. In my opinion, he's probably one of the best 2v2 players in North America, for sure. So once again, I just sent out my scout on 9, and I'm going to be checking, okay, what kind of builds are they doing? Are they doing double early builds, you know, early pools where they're trying to do a lot of aggression, or are they just doing, you know, some kind of expand with an early pool? Okay, so right here, I see the pools, you know, almost done here. That's definitely a 10 pool. And I see the gas. Well, not quite yet, but you're going to see that. I'll see the gas. Either way, it's a 10 pool. They're putting on early lings. So what I'm going to do is just keep checking around. I want to see, okay, is this partner going for banelings again, or is he trying to do, you know, some kind of early expand? And as you'll see, whoop, what do you know, another expand in this game. So he takes my gas here. It's really inconsequential because, in my opinion, 4 gate's really the best option if you're going against 2 zergs, in which case one goes a 15 hatch. And once again, I want to chrono boost out the zealot to try and plug that hole. Really, probably could have built my second pylon there. I tried to build my third one there. Doesn't quite get there in time. But my partner's lings are out, and then we were able to plug this hole. Now, I'd say in the last game I didn't really mention about, you know, what my partner wants to do so much, but essentially until he gets speed, he really should not be out on the map that much, because this 10 pool is going to get speed very soon. So we go up here and take a look. You know, that's what, a whole 15 seconds away, and my partner's got, you know, what, 30 seconds or more. So if he gets caught out in the open, and especially the fact that he did a later pull, he's not going to have as many lings just yet until a couple more of these inject larvas take place. So last thing he wants to do is lose a whole bunch of units, and then, you know, we have 0 map control at all. So he's once again going to go for banelings, and he's going to try and use his banelings to protect my stalkers. Now I end up building a proxy pylon here. I think it's in vision range. Yeah, so that's kind of a mistake that didn't really notice at first. But also